Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Todd Kramer Arts. So I've been pretty busy as I'm gearing up for the spooky season. This year I am participating in Haunted Happenings Marketplace in Salem. I have signed up for 2 dates, one of which is next week, September 28th. And the other is right before Halloween, Saturday, October 25th. And I've been working on some new paintings for that event, and also trying to plan out what I'm going to do. So in this case, I'm going to have a 10-foot booth. It's going to be outdoor. This is the first time doing this. So yeah, so I'm trying to get all the logistics in place for that. My in-laws were kind enough to let me borrow their tent. They have a 10 by 10 tent, pop-up tent. And now this weekend I'm going to be setting that up and trying to factor in anything else I may need. I know I need some weights for it. I need some walls and all that good stuff. But yeah, I hope to be more active on this platform. That's kind of, I enjoy YouTube content, and I would like to make more of it, but I have definitely got to hand it to all of you out there that make this weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly. It's a bit more daunting than one would imagine to splay one's heart out into the abyss of the internet, especially in this day and age. I don't know, it's a bit daunting, but I do see it as a very important medium, and especially for artists to showcase their wares, as I am attempting to do here. Right now it is a Saturday morning. This is a time slot I thought I could probably fit this in, and I think I'm going to show a little time lapse of a Bela Lugosi Dracula painting I've been working on. The origin of this painting is that obviously I'm a huge fan of all the Universal monsters. I'm a huge fan of anything horror, Halloween, basically. And that's been a theme or through line throughout my work for years. However, a good chunk of my artistic life, I kind of skirt around the outside of that. But now I'm just diving right in. Who cares, Like, I've got to do what I've got to do, and I love horror, Halloween, and dark art, so I'm going all in as I'm getting riper with age. So, but anyway, long story short, a few years back, around before the birth of my son, I started focusing more on digital work. So I started doing more digital painting. And I did a handful of tribute pieces. I did a tribute piece to Bela Lugosi then that I was very happy with. And so digital painting, if you're not familiar, is not too dissimilar from physical painting. It's just that instead of actual oil paint, you're using digital paint in an application like Photoshop or Procreate or something along those lines. And that time it was Photoshop. And basically you use the brush tool, and they have different types of brushes within Photoshop, and you basically draw it out like you would anything else and paint it in. I was inspired at the time by Jason Seiler. He's a he was known for a lot of caricature work, but he also does a lot of semi-realist kind of portrait pieces. He's a commercial illustrator. Now he's like a illustrator and comedian, but I was very inspired by what he could do with digital painting because it felt and looked like traditional oils, and that was pretty attractive to me at the time, because at that time I was living in an apartment and we were about to have our first child, and oil painting is very messy and very dirty, and I needed something that could be portable, where I can like set it up in the living room and have my son with me without having to worry about toxic fumes and toxic oil paints getting all over them. So I transitioned to digital, and at that time I thought it was a very novel, interesting medium, and it very much still is. But as the age grew on, or that's a weird way to say that, isn't it? But anyway, as time moved on, and now with AI art and stuff, I'm focusing primarily on oil, because something about AI, and I don't want to get into AI is a very hot topic, but AI does what it does very well. So what I found is that digital work and AI work, like if you put them side by side, it'd be, fairly difficult to discern which is which. And it made the digital medium feel less attractive to me. And now that I do have an area where I can paint, I figure, hey, let's go whole hog and go back into traditional oil painting and drawing and the like. And plus, I prefer it. It's a much more meditative and immersive medium, and it's always spoke to me. I probably wouldn't have gone digital if I had the means to in the space at the time. But again, I don't want to poo-poo digital too much, because I still use it. I use digital for mock-ups. You might have seen the Michael Myers painting I did. I started that as a digital, and then I transitioned that to oil. I mean, obviously, digital is an amazing and contemporary, process. But the plus side, I guess, of AI now is that I don't want to use digital as much because everything has a digital look to it now. So. And that's not the poo-poo things. Amazing things are still being made with all mediums, but it's more of a feel. It's more of um, an inclination to strive towards more traditional mediums when everyone else is going more digital. Because I want to make things a lot harder on myself. I want to make things very difficult. Things that used to take a few hours now take a few months. So. That's the way I like to go. So, but anyway, long story long. I did a digital painting of Dracula I liked, and I've done prints of, but now that I see all my old digital work that I liked, I'm like, oh man, now I want like a physical oil copy of these things. I want to recreate or reinterpret digitally now that I have the means to, and also just, with all the AI stuff out there, I don't want there to be the confusion of, oh, did you make this with AI? I don't want that conversation, because I didn't. So, so I am now doing things in oil again. So I have a little time lapse I will be showing here of this painting, and I'll present it here. This is my new Dracula painting of Bela Lugosi as Dracula, with some artistic liberties put in there. I used a couple different references for this. I decided to black out the tie area because there's something more foreboding about it just being black and empty in that area. And I kind of let the paint do what paint does, let it just kind of fill out the frame there. And there's a lot of gloss on this, but you'll see it better later. So I'm very happy with this. So this is one of a handful of pieces that I've made new over the past couple months. And I'm hoping to do a few more videos before the season's over. Haunt season is upon us, so I suspect I will be doing some haunt content on this channel. Me doing my makeup for the haunt, and maybe some in-haunt footage, behind the scenes stuff at Haunted Overload, which I've been doing over 10 years now. I think I'm on my 12th year, possibly. I'm losing count. Yeah, so there's that to look forward to. And for all the candle people out there, I am thinking about doing maybe a top 10 Halloween candle um, review on this channel. Because as many of you know, or many of you that watch this know, that I am a fan of scented candles and Halloween scented candles, and some of you have lingered to this channel through that, and I kind of want to lean into it a little bit more. I think it's I see everyone Virgil and Chance and Haunted Haven and all of them out there with their candle reviews and stuff, which I indulge in, and it'd be fun to throw my name in the hat on that. Though I cannot do it justice like Philly Candleman or Candle Enthusiast or anyone of that nature. Of course, South Sanity and Virgil and Chance and all of them, but it would be kind of fun to maybe broaden this channel a little bit to that realm. Let me know in the comments below. You think I should just stick to the art, or maybe I should do some more things? I'm trying to think of ways to be more active on here, because it can't just all be me rambling and time lapses, right? But at the same time, like, would it be a little too, I don't know, unfocused? But you know what? Maybe that's not the name of the game anymore. Maybe you just gotta do what you feel like doing. I mean, I was thinking about. All right, editing Todd here. I was just editing the latest video, and I just completely just ramble and ramble and ramble. It just goes on forever. So I'm gonna hard cut into here and get to the point. Here is the time lapse for my latest painting, my tribute to Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.